Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of After I Lost You. Today I have Sydney May with me.
Yes.
Welcome, Sydney.
Thank you.
Excited to have you join us for the podcast today.
I'm excited to be here.
So let's see, Sydney and I went to high school together. I don't know if we really talked or hung out or anything, but
No.
probably knew of each other.
Yes, we knew of each other, but we didn't
Different friend
talk
groups.
at all. No.
Both went to Pleasant Grove though, and then
But I,
recently
what?
just ran into each other at the
Yeah,
gym.
we did run into each other at the gym while I was lifting and bumped into each other, but I did know your wife.
You did know Carly, yes.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So I
So tell
knew
us about
her.
that. How did you know Carly?
So Carly and I actually were in the same ward growing up. So we went to church together. We were in Young Women's together. Like I said, her mom, I would say, was one of the Young Women's leaders at our
Hmm.
church. So I knew of her whole family through the ward. So that's how I knew
Cool.
Carly growing up. Went to
Cool.
girls' camp together, like all that fun stuff. But yet again, we also weren't like friends in high school, but like
Right.
grew up together in like that kind of census of living in the same neighborhood
Cool.
together.
Cool. So you and Carly go back a ways.
Yeah, like kids.
Yeah.
and
Awesome.
and then high school with you, but
Yeah.
different friend groups.
PG high school, different friend groups. But yeah, we ran into each other recently at the gym and got talking. I think I knew that your dad had passed, but anyway, we kind of just got
I was
talking about
young. A
that.
lot of the neighbors knew, and I don't know if she'd ever like. Not a lot of people knew, but
Yeah. I feel like I had heard that sometime in high school probably,
yeah, but
but
it happened such a long time ago. Like I don't think a lot of people knew. Like you either have to be like close to me at a young age to know, because it's not something I've like. It's not like you're top of conversation, like unless
yeah.
someone like asked, right? It's like
Right.
how do you bring up, like people would be like, oh, so this is your parents' house, and you're like, my mom's.
Yeah.
Like
People
what?
probably don't think twice about that
Yeah, like
response, but
no, it's like no one knows, but you just like,
yeah,
or you answer and you move on,
yeah,
or whatever. But yeah, that's I guess how we all kind of came to talking.
yeah. Just reconnected and asked you to come be on the podcast, and you're willing to come talk about it. So
Yeah.
appreciate of that, and hopefully we'll have a good conversation today. And you just did a bodybuilding competition,
Yes, I did.
so how did that go?
Well, it was amazing. I worked and prepped for this show for 8 months and worked my ass off, literally. And I stepped on stage for the very first time and I took first place in all categories. So all my hard work literally paid off and I'm like living my dream right now. Like
So
literally I'm
awesome,
on like cloud nine. So
so awesome. Congratulations.
thank you.
How was stepping on the stage? Was it like everything you expected? Was it different?
It was. I would say like at first I was really nervous. Like my first time ever stepping out there, I was like I thought my nerves were calmed and then no. I stepped on there and I was like, "Oh, all my nerves took over." And then I was like, "Wait, you know what you're doing? Just zen. Like you're fine. You got this." And then I stepped on stage again because I competed in three different classes and it was like as if I was a natural. Like everyone out in the crowd was like, "No, you like owned it. You acted like you knew what you were doing." And I'm like, faking it till I make it. Like I literally
That's
just
what life's about. You just gotta
yeah.
fake it till you
No,
make
it
it.
was just like a surreal experience, but it was like it wasn't like what I thought it was, but it was like I think just because like the feeling of like the winning, like
Yeah,
that obviously like I wasn't expecting, like I just was going in with a very open mind.
yeah,
But obviously it makes everything more heightened or excited once you were like favored. Like
right,
winning just makes everything feel, I don't know, better, more
right.
exciting, and just like the adrenaline, like of just having, like I said, the judges, like I literally was on the end of the stage and having them move me to the center was just like, oh my gosh, like
Makes you
wait a
feel pretty
minute,
good.
hold on, I think I'm actually doing good at this. So we're gonna just roll with it. So it was
Yeah.
a really awesome experience.
Well, congratulations. Good for
Thank
you. That's
you.
awesome. Do you think you'll do another one?
I feel like yes. I think I want to do another one. I feel like how do you give up the lifestyle you lived for the last 8 months? Like it's how do you say goodbye to that? Like it's
Yeah.
something I feel like I've adopted into my life and I'm like, I'm already missing it. I already texted my coach and was like, wait a second, when are we gonna get going again?
Yeah.
It's been 2 days and I'm like, I think I really love the process, the structure, like something to just, I don't know, lean on to. Like I
Yeah.
said, I like having something to work towards. Like that's yours. It's nobody else's. It's
Yeah.
just you making yourself better. And I don't think there's anything, like I don't think anyone could really understand unless you've done it yourself. Like I just love the whole process of it. So, yep. I think I want to definitely step on stage. When? I don't know. We'll kind of play that by
Sometime in the
ear.
future.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. Well, good luck with all that.
Thank you. It's super exciting.
Sweet. Well, again, yeah, stoked to have you on the podcast after I lost you. So, we're here to talk about your dad.
Hmm.
Tell us about your you person.
Okay.
Tell us about your dad. What's his name? What do you remember about him? Um, if you were to describe your dad to someone, how would you describe him?
I love talking about him. So, my dad's name is Sean Purett, and how to best describe my dad, if people like how to like really get to know him, was he was outgoing, he was funny, really funny. Guy just could crack anyone up, would say the most off the wall things. He was very like telling stories. He was just so animated. My dad loved telling stories about the things he did, and but also about him, I would say he was most kind, genuine, like always willing to lend like a helping hand to literally anybody. Like no matter who it was, stranger, friend, family, like that's just like who he was, and definitely somebody that like you look up to like your whole life. Like
Yeah.
somebody that just cared, but also who lived his dreams. Like didn't let anything like get in his way.
Yeah.
Like lived his life to the fullest. Like when I say that, I like I mean every ounce of it. Like that's when I think about him, that's like what I can describe about him and who he was as a person. So,
That's so cool.
yeah.
Sounds like a great guy. What's a favorite memory you have of your dad?
Favorite memory. I feel like there's
There's
so
probably a lot to choose from.
there is, but yet again, like I was also really young. So it's
Hmm.
like I wish there was so many more, but like the memories that I do have of my dad honestly were like some of my favorite ones would be of us like camping as kids.
Hmm.
We did a lot of camping. It was like one of his favorite hobbies. Like if
Really?
you went on my dad's Facebook page, that's all he commented about. I'm like when social media even started to become a thing, but like camping and riding his motorcycle. So
Nice.
I would say memories of that. So first memory I would say was just like really like riding motorcycles with him as a kid, being
Hmm.
outside. Um, there's times just when you're camping, being around the campfire, just him telling stories, but also teaching me how to ride, like on a four-wheeler for the first time.
Yeah.
And then going and doing like a course that I had to get my license to ride the motorcycle, like just like things that he enjoyed that we got to enjoy together as a family. But I would say those memories are the ones that I remember the most,
Hmm.
was the memories that we had camping and just having a blast. But yet again, we were also out doing his favorite thing on like earth. Like that's what he wanted to be doing. So
Yeah.
it's like he was at his all-time happiest, but like camping with my family. Those memories with him were like they're the ones I remember the most as a kid, since like I said I was so young.
Yeah.
So I only have so few, but like those were some of my favorite memories that I had with him, was camping, riding, having him teach me how to ride things, crashing on accident, and then him picking me up and being like, "It's okay, like we're fine." But I would say, thinking about actually one of the last memories I had with him was probably one of my favorite memories,
Hmm.
which is like dumb. I was a kid. I hated roller coasters. We were competing at a cheer competition in Anaheim, California, so we were at Disneyland. I refused to ride the roller coasters, like the big ones.
Hmm.
And my dad, like I said, he thrived in like thrills and he just loved anything that went fast. And He was like, Sydney, I'm not going to take no as an answer. We're here in Disneyland. You're going to get on this roller coaster with me, and I'm not going to take no as an answer. Threw me up over his shoulder. I'm not even kidding. Threw me over his shoulder. Put me in line. I cried for probably like, I don't know, 20 minutes. I was young. I was like 10 at the time.
Uh-huh.
And I actually ended up running out of the line. And he was chased out there and like got me back in line. And my sister was like, hey, if you go on this roller coaster with us, I will buy you a pair of pink sparkly Toms. You remember when Toms were a thing? Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved clothes as a girl, and my sister knew I wanted them so bad. And my dad was like, sold. I'll buy them. You go on this roller coaster. I will buy you a pair of Toms. And, you know, we sat on the very last row, like the back of a roller coaster goes the fastest.
Yeah.
It whips you the most. So he's like, we're going to sit in the very back and we're going to have the best time. I was so scared. But as soon as we sat together, and then my sister sat in front of me with her friend. And so it was just me and him on the very back row of this roller coaster. And I was so scared. I didn't want to be there, but I wanted the Toms so bad. And the roller coaster took off, and I just remember like there's the pictures at the end of the roller coaster.
Right. Yeah.
Smile ear to ear, but so was his, because he knew I actually enjoyed like the thrill.
Yeah.
And that is a memory I think I've like held on probably like my whole life, is like that one memory. That was actually one of the last vacations we took as a family. But I actually did something that like he was super passionate about, and he just liked the thrill of anything, like fun, having fun doing anything. But that is a memory I remember doing with him, that since then, like, I like thrill now. Like, I guess, like, I really enjoyed it, but it was a memory that, like, I'll always have. Like, one of the last. And then, like, after that, I've gone on so many roller coasters, and
Yeah.
I've done a lot of thrill seeking and finding fun through, like, things that he liked doing. So I feel like it's kind of funny after you do things like some of the last things, but that is one of the memories, I guess, as a kid, that one of them that I'm like I said, he was a thrill seeker, loved having fun, and didn't matter like what we were doing, but we were gonna have fun out of it. And we probably went on that roller coaster 3 more times together. Like,
Nice.
that I would say is one of the most, like, the last memories that I remember, that like it was just us, but it was doing something he loved. So that is probably one of the memories I remember the most.
That's awesome. So you mentioned you were pretty young when he passed. How old were you?
Yeah, I was 11 years old when he
Wow.
passed. So
Okay.
pretty young.
That is pretty young. And you have siblings?
Yes.
How old were they?
So I have an older sister. She was 14. I was 11, and then my younger brother, I believe, was 9, and then my youngest sister was 5. So when he passed, that's how old we all were. And then
Okay.
my mom was 35,
Okay.
and then was she 30? I want to say somewhere in her 30s, but my dad was 45.
Okay.
So not that old,
Right.
you know?
How did he pass?
Yeah. So the story of like how he passed, I guess, like, the day, right?
Yeah,
I
tell us
think,
about the day he passed. What do you remember?
yeah, well, I feel like anyone can really relate to this. Like, the day you lose somebody, this is a day that you actually remember from like front to back, as if you could live it again, like day in and day out.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the day he passed, which is funny, I was actually playing Speed outside with my brother.
Like the basketball game Speed?
Yes,
Okay.
the basketball game. We were out in the driveway playing Speed, and my dad's friend drove up in his sports car. I want to say it was like a Shelby, I think it was a Shelby Cobra, like old restored vehicle. Nice car. He came up walking to us as we were playing Speed, and he was like, hey, go get your dad, you know, like, he's been wanting to go for a ride in my car for so long. I went inside, I got him, and I was like, hey, your buddy's here, like, he wants to take you for a ride. And my dad got up off the couch. He just gotten home from work, and he came outside, and he got in this car with his friend to go for a car ride, and he never came home. So he never came back, and from there, I guess like how I remember the night and how it like panned out was we actually had cops come to our house, but they were not in uniform. They were just dressed in black. They knocked on the door and they had asked for my mom. And we went and got my mom, and they made sure, like, they were like, we're gonna do this outside. Like, we have stuff to show you. Me and my siblings were all inside. And actually, my dad's mom was sick in the hospital, and we had just brought her home from the hospital, and she was staying with us. So his mom was also staying with us at the time, and me and my siblings were actually sitting just like peeking our heads out the window to see what was going on, because my mom was actually like making a lot of noises and was like kind of like screaming, crying, and she was outside with the policemen that we didn't know who they were. And my youngest sister, Avery, who was 5, she had actually come to me, was like, I think there's some really bad news. And I was like, I'm 11. And I was like, what are you talking about? You're, well, and she's like, no, like bad news. Like there's something going on. And I just was like in denial. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, Avery. Like, no. And then she was like, no, I think dad's gone. And she's 5. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, don't talk like that. Like, I don't even know where you're getting this. And after like a while, it had been a long time, all of the neighbors in the neighborhood actually started filing into our house. So we never saw, our mom never came back in the house. And after that, we had all the neighbors coming in the house. So, like, out of nowhere, my house became like filled full of people, like within the hour. And actually, they had everyone file downstairs into our basement. And we had a big movie theater down there. And our bishop actually was like, hey, we're going to gather everybody downstairs. And I remember like who I was sitting next to. Like, I just remember like so many details. And my mom, finally had seen my mom at the time. She was downstairs. My bishop was standing at like the very foot of like where the screen was. And on our couch, I was sitting next to our neighbor, which was actually Michelle Maddox, was who I remember who it was.
Mm.
And she was like rubbing my back and like holding me. And I just was like looking around as a kid. Everybody was like kind of crying, and I didn't know what was going to be said. And our bishop, basically, he's the one who gave us the news to all the kids. My sister and like my grandma was there, like everybody was there. No family members had showed up at that point yet, but he had basically given us the news that my dad had passed away in a car accident that night. And from there, I just remember feeling like that's when I knew that it was like real. And like my sister had said it that night earlier, and I was like, I don't know what you're saying. And then when they had actually told us, I was like, wow, like it felt like the world had stopped for a little bit, like as if like everything just like honed in, and like my vision went blurry. Like, as an 11-year-old, I didn't even know what was happening. And from that moment, it was just like numb. Like, I couldn't really feel anything. So I would say, like, from there, it was just like, I don't know, like the feelings that you feel are just like I was sick. I was sick. I didn't believe what was going on. I didn't know what they were saying. I
Mm-hmm.
was 11. Couldn't even wrap my head around it, but I was just like, okay, I guess that, okay, he's not coming back. So I guess what do we do now? Right? Like, from here, like, we all sobbed, and then we had a lot of our family kind of come in. And I think from there, I also, like, I didn't sleep that night. I ended up sleeping with my grandma, so his mom. I remember sleeping on her lap, but just, I was sick, literally sick. I think I went to the bathroom, like, to see if I could throw up. Like, it was just like I didn't know what was going on to my body, and I was young. I didn't know how to process any of it. Like, the feeling of it was just unmatched. So that was like the memories I have of like the night it happened. And even like the following afterwards, the week just was long. It was a long week, and it was like the longest week and days of my
Yeah.
life, honestly.
Yeah.
So that was really my story of finding out everything.
Wow. I'm so sorry. That
Yeah.
is horrible. Um, I feel like when Carly passed, I kind of felt that same, like your body physically is like sick,
Yeah.
right? And um, I also remember just like feeling like I was gonna throw up or like I couldn't eat anything and like just I don't think people always understand like grief and denial. Probably denial is part of that as well. Like it really physically like does something to your body that's really hard to handle.
Yeah, like I don't even know, like you said, I don't know if anyone can really like understand what it is, but it's like at 11, I was like sick
Right.
and you don't even know why you're feeling this way. I didn't sleep and it was just you just are up all night and you don't even know what's going on or like
Yeah.
what's how to process any of it except for just numbness of like you're just blank. It just you feel heavy.
Yeah.
You're just there. Like I don't even know how to explain it even at
Yeah.
11
Kind of just
processing something like that.
floating through nothing. It feels like, yeah, you're just
Yeah.
kind of floating and
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. It's just floating and then you just kind of feel like the best way to that inside. Like
yeah.
I it was like no emotions, like it was just like mute.
Yeah.
Like how how do you and you're like okay? Like what do you even respond back to something like that?
Yeah.
Uh, okay. Like all right. And then as an 11-year-old then also like watching your mom. Like I had to watch my mom go through this on top of it. So it was like that I think was probably one of the next hardest things was like I didn't go to school the next day. It was like the end of the year and they were doing all the end of the year dances, like the festivals and my youngest sister went back to school, so did my brother. My oldest sister, she had like Lagoon Day. She was in like junior high. They had Lagoon
Mm-hmm.
Day. They all went to school and I couldn't. Like
Mm-hmm.
I stayed home sick. Like
Yeah.
I didn't even like I couldn't move and I didn't want to be anywhere. Like every one of us processed grief differently and then I swear I didn't see my mom for an entire week. Like I don't even remember where she ended up. I I don't even remember where half of my family was. It was just like I feel like it was just me kind of going through my own things. I remember hanging out with actually Lauren Riggs. I think some of the neighbors forced some of the kids to come and hang out with me while I stayed home from school just so I like wasn't alone.
Mm-hmm.
But that's like really what I remember of that week. And then obviously leading up to the funeral. I mean, going to anyone's funeral when they're young is like it's a crazy experience. I'm like
Yeah. What do you remember about the funeral?
I remember like everything. It was another thing I remember about the funeral was uh obviously he was in a car accident, so I didn't get to see my dad. You know, it was a closed casket and my mom was going to let it be our choice whether we got to say goodbye to him or not and my grandpa stepped in and said that no, you know, that we didn't get to and we're going to remember him how we remembered him. And so I remember just like before starting like sitting in the very front just like I guess watching like the memories of his like I guess like the video of his life and I guess like knowing he wasn't gonna be coming home and it's like how do you move forward? I don't know. It's still like a weird thing. I'm like it's been 15 years and these memories you'll never forget how they like felt. But the funeral there was a line wrapped around the building for like the viewing and like all his friends and people you just don't know and I just was like wandering around the building and like seeing everyone that loved him and he was young, he was 45, he wasn't supposed to die. I mean it was unexpected, you know, unexpected deaths are hard. It's not like they were sick, you knew when they were going to go, you've had chances to kind of grieve with it, it was just instant. But I just remember sitting there as a kid and just sitting next to my mom and my family, just being like, what next? You know, like what do you do next? And but it was cool seeing everybody that came. Like the funeral, like the viewing, the funeral, like it lasted forever. Like the 2 days of our life lasted for like they were infinite. Felt like the viewing was long, the line wrapped around the door. But there's a one big memory that like my family teases me about to this day about this funeral, or I should say the viewing, because I am a foodie. I love food, and even though I did this competition, like I am a foodie at heart, and I actually, because the funeral was so long, I went up to actually one of my dad's like best friends. Like he was a groomsman at his wedding. I like remember him, but I don't. But I went up to him and I like pulled on his suit jacket as a kid, and I was like, "Hey, I'm hungry. I have been standing in this line for hours, and I've had nothing to eat." Random person, and I was like, please could you go get me like a hamburger or something, like as an 11-year-old. And I remember at the funeral or the viewing, he actually came and got me. I was standing back in line and he was like, come here, like come here, I had got you something. And I brought my siblings and we sat on his tailgate in like the back room of like the back entrance of the funeral, and we sat and ate french fries and burgers. And like a memory will remember forever. But like those days were long. The funeral was long. The burial service was beautiful. His best friend drove his motorcycle onto the grass. And like in his memory, like I said, he loved riding, so he like revved his bike and we let off balloons, and it was like it was beautiful. But then it's like, then what? Like now you go home and you're supposed to live life like it was normal. Like it's a weird thing. I don't know. Funerals are weird. Like even now that I go to funerals now, I'm like I hate that. The feeling of like the emptiness. Like that week you have so many people around you, and then everybody leaves. And I think that's what people don't understand. It's in those moments when stuff actually gets really hard. Like those are the moments where you're left alone. Like your friends go back to living their life, your family goes back to their jobs, and then it's just like you and your family, and like however they decide to process and move forward, and then you just have to keep going. Like those are the moments of like after the funeral that I feel like people don't understand how lonely they are. Like those are the times when it actually starts feeling hard. So that's what I really remember about his funeral, and like the afterness of it. So it's all like it's like a blur, but you remember all of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think you said that beautifully. That was my experience with Carly's funeral as well. So much love and support, and so grateful for everyone there. But I just felt like it was just a blur at the same time. I remember it, but I don't remember it. It's just such a weird time to look back on. And I would agree the hardest part was like, what's next? Funeral's over. Everyone's gonna go back to their life, but like my world's gone. Like what do I do?
Yeah, it's a weird feeling. It's like now what? Like now do we just keep living like we did before, but none of it makes sense? Uh, I don't know. It's like I think from that's where your decision is made, actually. I would say like right after the funeral when everything's quiet, you decide who you are in that moment. I'm being so serious.
Yeah.
I actually think you decide how you take grief from that point forward. And I got to watch my mom, my sisters, my brothers, like we all made that decision. And we all took different paths. And I know I took a different path. I think my choice as a kid, I decided that I was similarly going to do what, how my dad lived, was just live it to the fullest. Like just keep going and find the positive in life. That was a choice as an 11-year-old I decided to take.
Wow.
Was that's what I was going to do. Like I think through life I've decided that like death is a part of life. We're all going to die one day. We don't know when, we don't know what, we don't know how, but like I've always tried to take the positive road. Like but everybody takes a different road. Like I watched my mom take one, my siblings take a different, like,
Mm-hmm.
and it all affects all of us differently.
Mm-hmm.
And at different times, you let it hit you. I think I also buried it. Grief.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's talk about that. So, in what ways, like, what do you mean you felt like you buried your grief?
Well, I feel like because I made that decision that I like just wanted to move forward, I buried all of my feelings. Like I wasn't actually going to let it affect me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to think about it. I did want to just kind of act as if it didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like that I felt better doing it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Like personally, like for me, I buried it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to surface anything, any emotions. Like when people wanted to talk about it, I was like, it happened. I'm fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine. Like I'm just, yeah, let's just keep going. And that was, I feel like I did that actually like pretty much majority of my life. Like I just have always just buried it. Like I don't want to surface any of it. Like I haven't really like chose to feel it. It's not maybe the best way to go about it, but like it was the only way I could process it.
Yeah.
Like mentally to like keep going was just bury it and like put it somewhere else and then but throughout life it pops up whether you like least expect it or when you do expect it, like birthdays,
Mm-hmm.
celebrating the day he passed. Like those are the days I would always allow myself that it was okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm okay. Like these are the moments that I can like sit and live in it and sink in and just feel everything.
Mm-hmm.
But like outside of that, I just tried to bury all my feelings and keep one foot in front of the other, like as if like it didn't happen, but it happened and it shapes you. Death shapes you as a person, and like from that moment on, you decide who you are and what you're gonna do with your life. And then obviously you grow up and you age and things change. Like I'm not 11 anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the same person I was, but I still live by the same values I chose that day. Like I carry those with me every day as a choice that death is a part of life, and you know, like I will get to see him one day and it sucks and it's sad, but like it's shaped me as a person. Like I don't know if I would go back. Like who I am today is the reason for what I went through as a kid.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Like I wouldn't be the same Sydney I am
Yeah.
sitting here
Yeah.
without going through all the trials I had in life.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know what life would have looked like.
Right. And I love that. I totally agree. And as much as I hate saying it, like I would give anything to change my situation with Carly, right? But I tell people all the time, like I'm the man I am today because of Carly, and I'm sure you can relate to. You're the woman you are today because of your dad. Um, Obviously, we didn't choose this, and we do anything to change it, right? But there is something
Yeah.
to be said about a loved one that's passed and how they really do affect the rest of your life and change your perspective on life.
So hugely, like huge shift. You shift everything.
Right.
Your mindset, the way you view life, like everything just changes. You're not the same person and you never will be.
Right.
Yeah, it's a crazy thing.
How has your relationship with your dad changed since he's passed?
Well, for one, I was 11, you know, like my relationship with my dad at that time, you know, like I was his daughter. And I would say like my relationship with my dad has shifted huge because now I'm an adult.
Mm-hmm.
And I now understand things he maybe went through. Like when my mom talks about him or stories I hear about him, like I feel like I can relate more to him as like an adult and why he cared about the things he cared about so much. Like
Yeah.
I never understood like things that he cared about, like little things.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a big one. There's one that like as a kid, I resented him for it. I really did. My dad was an early riser.
Okay.
Okay. He was up at what, 4 or 5 a.m. every day
Wow.
to go to
Real
work.
early riser.
Yes. And he was a blue collar. So he was a plumber, but he woke up really extra early to drive to his mom's house. Every morning before work, she cooked him breakfast, his whole crew.
Really?
And he made sure every morning he got to be there and spend the morning with her. Like, my dad loved his mom. Like he's a perfect example of like what a son should be. My grandma lost her husband and she was alone for 12 years and he made sure to get up every morning to make sure she wasn't alone.
Mm.
So he saw her every morning with his crew, whole crew of guys, and he got up a whole extra hour early just to go spend that time with her. And so on the weekends, he cared about doing the same with his family. So like he didn't want to waste a lick of daylight. So I would say like I never understood, like obviously as a kid you didn't want to get up early on a Saturday morning or like, but now as an adult I've now realized like how important it is to actually like enjoy every seconds that you like, all the hours and seconds of the day, like they're all important.
Yeah.
Like don't waste the day, don't waste anything, because he just cared so much about having fun. Like every Saturday we had something planned because he worked all week long and he wanted to spend as much time as he could with his family. Like every weekend we were out doing something, whether we were walking the Toys R Us aisles. My dad literally had a Toys R Us card in his wallet, and we did, whether it was camping, we had something planned, but like spending every second he could doing something fun. But waking up early, doing it, having the most fun. But like that's something, another thing that I'm like, as an adult now, I now understand some of the values he carried, like why he valued them so much. That I look back now that I'm like, I value them so much that like I take it almost as like gospel now.
Mm-hmm.
Like things that he really cared about, like I care about now as an adult. So I feel like I can relate to a lot of the things of why he cared about being close to his family, having time, like you spend time with your family, you stay close to your family, like all these things and values that like he had, and having fun and then living your dreams. My dad lived his dreams. Like he never let anything stop him from living his dreams, which a lot of it was motorcycle riding and being outdoors. He played the guitar, he started new hobbies. Like he was always wanting to try new things, and I feel like my relationship with this, like with him, like he's taught me that that's what I need to do. Like he lived such a full life, and you never know when your time comes. So it's like just live every day to the fullest. Like I forgive quicker. Like I never ever let like you just never know.
Yeah.
I'm just kind to everyone. He was kind to everyone.
Yeah.
Strangers, like I said, people. He just cared so much, and I think just him as a person, he's just really influenced my life and perspective of like how I live as an adult now. Like I understand now. So that's what I would say about like what has kind of shifted with like my relationship as like a child. Like he was my dad to like who is he now to me, you
Yeah.
know? And how do I like continue living through his legacy?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's kind of wild.
It's amazing. Um, how has your family relationships either changed or stayed the same since he's passed? Like, how's your family dynamic look now?
Well, I would say like right after it all happened, there was a big shift of change. Like I said, my mom, I had a front row seat to watching her lose her best friend. Um, they were high school sweethearts.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they they went to like dances together in high school, and my mom got married at 18, and then like losing like the love of her life. So I got to sit and watch that, being a kid and her daughter, and she, bless her heart, I don't know what that's like, but she checked out. My mom checked out. I would say completely. Shut herself in her closet actually for probably a year of her life afterwards. Like she lived in the closet, sniffing his clothes, his cologne. I think she slept with his clothes on her bed for a long time. My mom checked out right after. So that obviously can shift a lot of things. We had a lot of people actually come live with us. My aunt Telly, she moved in with her daughter. They lived in our basement and like they kind of helped take care of us and we had like a blast. It was like um just a whole household of like females except for my brother and we kind of just we all came together and tried to hold each other together, honestly. So I'd say like after that she moved in and we just tried to make the best of the summer. We still tried to do things that we were supposed to do with him. It's like, how do you give up his favorite things? And we still try to go camping. We still try to go boating. We still try to do all these things. But afterwards, like with all my siblings, my mom checked out. My older sister, um, I would say she kind of resented my mom for checking out. Um, so relationships were different between them. And because my sister was a lot older, she was 4 years older than me, she also moved out when she turned 17. So she left the household.
Okay.
So a couple years, so my sister was 14, so like 3 years after she left, she just couldn't be there, and it was just me. So me and then my two youngest siblings, and I decided to take the responsibility of being mom. So my mom, like I said, checked out, and I don't blame her at all. Not at all. Like I couldn't
Mm-hmm.
imagine being in her shoes. Like I don't even know what I would have done in her shoes. So I decided to step up and be mom. I literally started driving at 15 and I would take my siblings wherever they needed to be. I would buy groceries, I cooked dinners. Like I just took on the responsibility of being mom at a young age. So I became really close with my two youngest siblings. I've always been close with my older sister. Never resented her for anything that she did. Like you said, we all grieve differently and
Mm-hmm.
do different things and you can't there's no reason to hate how someone else processes death and what they decide to do. So I just chose love. Like I love all of my siblings and we've gotten really close because of grief, obviously, and like what we went through. Like we're the closest we've ever been in my whole life. Like
Really.
we have really like a unique bond. You bond through grief. You bond
Yeah.
through all sorts of things, and it's crazy because we all went and experienced the same thing. The only person who didn't was my mom.
Yeah.
Right? She experienced something we have never experienced. But we all went through the same thing, so we've all just kind of come together and
Mm-hmm.
we rely on each other a lot with
Mm-hmm.
everything. So we're also really close. I would say just the right after moments was what it was the hardest.
Yeah.
Those first couple of years was just like figuring it out. A little bit of us like we kind of broke up a little bit, but honestly, we've come more closer than we've ever been, even like as of today. All of my siblings, I would say, are my best friends. And, we now just kind of all joke about the experience. Like, we, because that's just who he was.
Right.
Like, we just try and keep it light. Like, it's already crap in the first place. I mean, we all don't really talk about it. I feel like as siblings, not really. I think the one that talks about it the most would be my youngest sister because she didn't really know. So she asked the most questions for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And outside of that, it's like we really only talk about it, even though we talk about him, we just try to keep his memory alive. Like I think anyone
Yeah.
should.
Yeah.
Like the stories, I always just try and like talk about him so my youngest sister remembers him
Yeah.
how she should.
Yeah.
Like the funny stories, and that's what like I give anyone like uh I guess um what would you call it? Like advice. Just keep freaking talking about them. Like but I say to the other person though, like you don't need to be the one talking about it. Like what I love is when other people talk about him.
Yeah.
Like I love when I like run into people that were his friends and we're like, "Oh, I loved
Yeah.
Sean."
Yeah.
And these are the memories I loved. Like those are things that like we hold on to and people don't realize how important it is. Like
Right.
the stories that like you didn't know that like who Carly was when you weren't
Right.
around.
Right.
Like those are the stories that like
Yeah.
you live through, and people like not everyone knows that, but you do.
Yeah. I totally agree. I mean, there's been situations I'm at the gym or out and about or whatever, and someone walks up to me like, "Oh, I knew Carly when she was just a little girl," and they'll tell me something about Carly, and
Yeah.
like you're saying, I absolutely love that. Like, I didn't know that about Carly, or you knew Carly when she lived in Kaysville, or you knew Carly when she was in Young Women's, or whatever it may have been. Where,
Yeah.
and it's just it helps a lot when people talk about your person.
Yeah. It just like makes it like I don't know, like easier, but it just is like you remembered that they were here.
Right.
Think like a reminder because it's like
Yeah.
I don't know, obviously like it's been a long time and I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but sometimes I look at pictures of him and I'm like I don't really recognize him like that. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's not how I remember him.
Mm-hmm.
And like the stories are really what you remember. I mean, he also passed away before phones.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
before like touch phones were a thing, so like pictures are like pictures.
Right.
We have pictures of him and I don't have a phone of videos to hear his voice or
Mm-hmm.
like what people have now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like different. So it's like hearing what people say about him is always like you love hearing that. Like I would say stories. I love hearing stories about him through other people's eyes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally agree. You kind of already touched on this, but question I wanted to ask anyone that's listening, if they've recently lost a dad or a parent, what advice would you give them?
I mean, for one, I would say advice is grief is something that you go at your own pace with. I feel like it's I wouldn't say it's something that you compare to anybody with.
Yeah.
You don't ever compare it. You do it at your own pace and whether it's slow or whether it's fast or like there's no wrong way to grieve
Right.
something or someone. Like there's no wrong way and I don't think anyone should ever say that there is or isn't. And that's why I always say like love the person whoever's like going through it like and however they decide to go through it because there's no wrong or right way to go through it. And no one could sit and judge what the person is doing.
Yeah.
Like same like with what I was saying about my mom, how she chose to go through it compared to how my other siblings did. There's no right or wrong way. Just know that. And I guess really the only other advice I could say is like about time. I feel like people chuck this one around when they're like, like time heals all things, which I agree. I do
To an
agree.
extent.
Yes, it does. Like it's been 15 years for me and it's only been a year for
Yeah.
you. Like time heals, but honestly, like with like what grief is to anybody and like how it gets better, honestly, you just get better at carrying it. Like
Right.
it's never gonna go away. The hurting, the
Yeah.
anger, the jealousy, the future of like what if, like or he should have been here or like all these feelings. They'll be there forever. Like daily reminders will just pop up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And let it sink in. Like just feel it. Like it's okay to feel, it's okay to be angry, it's okay to be jealous, it's okay to feel all that. Just
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah.
But also like grief is something that you'll carry it for the rest of your life. I don't know when it will get easier. I have no idea. It's different for everybody, but like just know at the end of any journey is that eventually you'll just get better at carrying it, like and having it be a part of you. And then you make that choice of how you decide to handle it moving forward. But
Yeah.
that's
I
part
love
of
it.
life.
Yeah, totally agree. I love it so much. Well said.
Yeah, it's a beast.
All right, I have one more question.
Okay.
If your dad was listening to this conversation, what would you say to him?
Yeah, yeah, that's a deep one. I mean, anyone could say like the same. It's just like you miss them. You wish that, you know, that they could be a part of your life and watch you grow and develop, or you think that they are, like whatever you believe in. I mean, that's another thing. But obviously, like what I wish I could like tell him, you know, is that I miss him so much. I wish he, of course, has gotten to live life and see who I am. I wish, you know, I've gotten to like know him as an adult. But like I love him so much and I miss him. Like, of course, you want them back. You always want them back. Like, nothing can, like, replace that feeling. But also, it's like, because of what I went through, like, thank you. Like, this was also, like, I had to go through this. And I'm honestly just at peace. And I miss him. I love him. I'm sure he's living his best life wherever. But yeah, nothing can say that like you want them back. You wish they were here experiencing what you were experiencing and watching you grow up. But like, it's just not what's part of life, and it's not what was in the cards for me. So really, to answer the question is just that like you love him and you miss him. Like that's it's a deep question, honestly. There's like so
much
much
you would say, right?
Yeah, so much
Yeah.
that you could dig deep and rip the wounds out, but yeah, that's what I would say.
It's beautiful. I've really enjoyed listening about your dad, and this podcast was awesome. I hope someone listening to this maybe has lost a parent or lost a dad recently or in their lifetime. I hope they've taken something away from what Cindy's had to say.
Thank you. Yeah.
So, appreciate you being on this.
I appreciate being here, and I'm just grateful. Honestly, thank you. Feels good to share, honestly.
I hope it helps. My goal is I found that it's healing to talk about your person, and that's part of my goal with the podcast is allow people to kind of come on here and share about their person and hopefully find a little healing in that.
Yeah, for sure. That's part of the process is just one day at a time.
Sweet. Awesome. Well, thanks for listening if you got this far in the podcast, and Cindy, thanks again. Loved having you on.
Thank you so much.